This story was sent to me by Chanel, one of my Twitter followers, Chanel on Twitter. And this right here is, I haven't done a video talking about the LGBT community in a little bit. And well, if you don't include the Pharrell video that I just did with the GQ cover. But this one right here is, I don't know how to put it. It's ridiculous. It really is. But I have to talk about the LGBT community yet again focusing more so on the T. I swear they seem to be the main focal point of a lot of my rants when it comes towards them. So right here, what you see is a picture of a person. I'm gonna just put it like that. And on the right is the picture of Always. Now, Always is a brand that caters mainly, of course, only to women. And as you can see, it says Always, but it also has the Venus logo on there, which is basically the symbol of femininity. Well, this person on the left is a transgendered individual. And I'm trying to see which way were they before they said that this person's name is Ben Saunders. And basically what's going on is the transgender community or certain ones in that community have literally forced the brand of Always to remove the Venus logo from their products. Because I guess they say, oh, we use it too, but we don't identify as just strictly female. So we want you to remove the logo, and Always actually bowed down and removed it. Now, if y'all don't know, Always is a brand that is under the Procter and Gamble umbrella. If you remember, Gillette, who made that very controversial commercial about toxic masculinity, is also under the Procter and Gamble brand. So now, not only is Procter and Gamble pissing off their male customers, but now they're about to piss off their female customers. Procter and Gamble, y'all must really, really want to really lose your brand, because they are doing everything in their power right now for that to occur. Because there's no way in hell I would have bowed down to this. But see, at the end of the day, for them, it's all about money. They see that there's a lot of money in that community, as toxic as they are, especially under the T. We're just going to call them T for toxic. And that's why they keep doing the things that they do, but it's not for the greater good. Now, let me go ahead and read this article and see what else we can find out. It says the maker of Always sanitary pads has given into claims of discrimination by transgendered men and removed the Venus symbol of the female sex from the wrapping. So when it says transgendered men, I'm guessing they're talking about women who transitioned into what they would believe to be a man. And it's kind of, so basically what they're saying is we were born naturally a woman, but we had the operation to turn ourselves into a quote unquote man, but we still use the products, but we would rather not see the Venus logo on there because it would remind us too much of what we were biologically born as. That's basically what they're saying. I'm telling you, this is a confused bunch. This is a confused group of people right here, and they want us all to be as confused as them. Outraged women are now boycotting the leading brand after the decision by makers Procter and Gamble kowtow to trans activists who were born female and still use sanitary products. Last night, feminists warned that the concession is a chilling move toward the elimination in women's biology. The cave-in by P&G comes after Flora Margarine stopped advertising on Mumsnet following accusations that the parenting website is transphobic, which also sparked the boycott, as reported by the Mail on Sunday last week. A trans activist using the pseudonym Melly Boom had tweeted in July asking Always why it was imperative to have the sign on their sanitary products. The tweet said, there are non-binary and trans folks who still need to use your products too, you know. It says another activist, Ben Saunders, named Young Campaigner of the Year by LGBT charity Stonewall in May after making a documentary about being transgender, contacted the sanitary pad makers in June with a similar complaint. The Always marketing team replied with comment that Saunders, age 18, posted on Twitter, reading, "We are glad to inform you that as of December, we will use a wrapper design without the feminine symbol." The message stated that sanitary towels with the new packaging will hit the stores by January 2020 and added, "We are absolutely grateful for having people like you voicing their opinions. But many of Always female customers have responded angrily to the move and are vowing to switch to other sanitary products." Leading feminist campaigner Julie Bindel told the Mail on Sunday removing the female symbol from sanitary towel packaging is basically denying the existence of women. Oh, I can already see how I'm going to end this video, because now at first it was like I'm looking at it like this is messed up, but I actually said I can actually say that as a form of karma. We're now moving towards the total elimination of women's biology. The women's symbol has been used by feminists for decades. This is pure cowardice and virtue signaling from these big corporate brands who are capitulating to the trans agenda. Oh, now they're recognizing that this is an agenda. Now they're seeing it for what it is. But see, when it wasn't imposing anything on them, it was no agenda. Notice that now they're calling it what it is. And that's something we've been saying for quite some time now. But now that it's coming and taking their world by storm, now they see it as an agenda. Well, it's too little too late. And many of them have been very welcoming of the Tea Party, as Kendra calls them. But now they're moving in. And that, what have I said? The more you become accepting of them, the more they're going to move in, and they're going to try to rearrange the furniture in your house that you pay rent in. Women on social media sites also aired their fury at the decision by P&G. Maya Forstater, a women's rights advocate who lost her job as a think tank tax expert for saying transgender women are not women, tweeted, "The Venus sign in biology is used to represent the female sex. You know, the only people who will ever need these products. It does not represent gender identity." Another objector, Lizzie Watson, said biological women should just boycott the brand. Then they might realize real women have feelings too, which they have somehow ignored. A third woman tweeted, "Guess I will be boycotting at Always for throwing females, the only sex that menstruates, regardless of clothes or other superficial gender expressions, under the bus." It is the second brand this month to face a boycott from women for bowing to pressure to trans lobbyists. Last week, the Mail on Sunday reported that manufacturers of Flora Upfield decided to cut ties with Mumsnet after transgender rights campaigners complained it had become a platform for trans hostile posts. Mumsnet founder Justine Roberts rejected these claims and said it was important for freedom of speech that its users be allowed to debate transgender issues, such as the growing numbers of children declaring a wish to change sex. Dozens of mothers who used the website publicly pledged to stop buying Flora or any other products made by Upfield. P&G, the American company that owns Always brand, has confirmed that the new sanitary pad packaging without the Venus symbol will be introduced across Europe. A spokesman for the firm said, "For over 35 years, Always has championed girls and women, and we will continue to do so. We're also committed to diversity and inclusion, and we realize that not everyone who has a period and needs to use a pad identifies as female." Hold on. Time out. Wait a minute. Let me read that again, because I want to make sure that I just comprehended what I just read. It says, "We're also committed to diversity and inclusion, and we realize that not everyone who has a period and needs to use a pad identifies as female." Last time I checked, men didn't have a cycle. Last time I checked, they don't have a period. So what the hell is a man going to do with the pad unless he's buying it for his girlfriend or his wife, or maybe even his daughter? Like that whole statement right there just sounds weird. That is why we wanted to ensure that anyone who needs to use a period product feels comfortable in doing so with Always. Okay. See, Procter & Gamble has gone too damn far with this whole thing. But let me just tell you where the karma comes in. I bet you any amount of money some of these feminists right here are mad about this, and they have every right to be mad because, or any female period, even if she's not a feminist, will be upset. But you want to know what their karma comes from or comes in? Is because I bet you some of these feminists were championing that same Procter and Gamble Gillette toxic masculinity ad that they did last year. I'm willing to bet you. Now it has come back to bite them in the ass, and they are upset. Like I said, I can see why they're mad, but at the same time, it's karma. At the same time, if they were praising that ad as well, which was, like I said, also a Procter and Gamble product, Gillette. But at the same time, I can see that this is just absolutely ridiculous, and that they actually bow down to the trans community yet again. And now, this is why I kept hearing things where people in that community said they can't stand the quote unquote Tea Party. Because as you can see, they are the ones that cause the most issues and most confusion. And people still wonder how in the world did the tea get removed out of the World Health Organization and got replaced by gaming. Somebody on that board found a way to probably pay to get them out of there. And see, this is the thing. They got so much breathing room and so much leeway to do what they want that they impose their way of life on anybody. And then if you don't accept, they'll say that you're being transphobic. Notice that they don't say homophobic, like that lesbians or gay people or bisexual people would say. They say transphobic. So they've already separated themselves, even though they're connected to the group. Then the only reason they connect themselves to the group is because they probably know by themselves they can't really get much done until they get strong enough numbers, and then they'll probably break off. You don't hear anybody say lesbiophobic or gayphobic or biphobic. They say homophobic. But with them, they always say transphobic. That's just something that just clicked in my head just now. But like I said, the Tea Party, as Kendra D would call it, is very toxic. Like, what the hell is a person who was biologically born a man going to do with the pad? Like I said, the person you see on your screen right now, this was a person who was born a woman, but transitioned into a quote unquote boy, man, however you want to put it. So, but biologically, a boy or a man or anyone who has the XY chromosome would not benefit from using a feminine product. This person took testosterone to not have a period anymore. So why is it even any benefit to them? This reminds me of that story I just did where you had that person who did the same kind of transition, going from was born biologically a female and then went into transitioning into a boy or a man, and then they ended up taking they were taking testosterone pills, and then they stopped taking them and started taking hormone pills again so they can get a period, so they can get pregnant. And then when they gave birth, they said that they wanted to identify as the mother, but then or not the mother, as the father. And then the court said, nope, you were born biologically a woman. We don't care what kind of operations you have. You will be identified as this child's mother, not as the child's father. And if you was and the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if they said that person or that platform who said that was being transphobic. It's weird. It's very weird. It's unsettling too. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.